combination and new synergy that can literally take down Maaf also, because these people, whatever they are using, they cannot die. Even Julie popping up quite a lot, and I think he's Ray's favorite member here too. Just saying.
Hey, he'll just reveal that real soon. But again, I feel a lot of the teams still going with the traditional pick, which has been going on for a long. That is, going for a flex pick like a Badang and all has been the norm for a lot of the teams still lately, right? I think a bit more flexibility in the first pick, because we have seen a lot of teams actually going for the Phobius first to just pick up the Harith later on, so it doesn't get counted, right? But again, there is Esmeralda that can be picked in the EXP lane, right? The Esmeralda does counter out those high shield heroes. And I feel, just approaching the draft in a different way can give a lot of room for, these teams to fight more and even last the team fights in such a way that, it can give window to the rest of the team to come and just go for the cleanup, the damage dealers to do their work, right? And I feel, despite having the Badang as well, the high loss, it was not nearly enough because they could not stop the members whatsoever. But again, I feel it's all about the perception that these teams have, which heroes they are comfortable on, and also how well they can just, go for this micro adjustment at the very last moment in the draft. So, Ray, again, the bans are coming here real fast. Anything you see unusual or you would like to see in the banning phase this time?
I think we're just going to be seeing the typical ones like the Mathilda. Most probably, Kalia's going to be next. Maybe a Lucas at most. Other than that, I think it's not going to be any different. Maybe a nah, there's no way they're gonna ban out the Faramis though, because if they don't, Maaf can just call it Hail Mary and pick it up again for themselves. But I'm honestly just really eager to see Yo Mom on Uranus. Like, I've been waiting to see Yo Mom on Uranus for very long. It's been like months. I haven't seen him pick it up in the tournament saying, come on, dude, pick it up. Like, I know it's your favorite. You love Uranus.
Well, let's see if Ray's wish will be getting fulfilled in this game or not. But talking about a different band this time around, the Hayabusa is taken off the chart from the side of Team Untitled, fearing the same outcome that happened in the last game. Yeah, I feel like I think it's definitely an interesting ban, and this time Maaf themselves are banning out the the Harith as well. So 2 picks from last game will not be there, and to round it off, they get off the Lucas as well. So the first pick in the hands of Team Maaf. Debbie, what are your guesses for this pick?
I think the Kalia is out there, right? So will they wanna go for the Kalia, or I think there's a lot of the potential that they can try to counter. Oh, Matilda also. Wait. Oh, that works because they ban out the Lucas already. The combination is gonna be weird though. Do they wanna go for the Matilda now? Because there are a lot of options, but PD, he's so good on the Matilda as well as the tanky heroes. I don't see him on other supports other than Matilda, so he can directly definitely go for that. Oh, wait, the Buxa is also banned, right? So yeah, will they go for it? They're taking their time, and I'm actually very anxious. It's also the Kalea that's available. Ray, aren't you happy the Kalea it might be big? Just until and unless they pick it up, we have to guess though.
Yeah.
Fanny? Wait, Fanny? Is it a valid option here?
Too early, I feel here, Ray. What do you think?
I think it's okay. They go in for Gatot. They go in for a Gatot. They leave out the Kalea EXP option as well as the Mathilda. I feel like that's a golden geese served in a platter. But is it a bait? I don't think so. I honestly feel like Maaf just forgot about like these 2 girls exist. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they are just fixating on a flex pick. Honestly, it screams to me that way. Even Untitled, like, guys, do you not simp for ladies? Come on, like, if I see Kalia and Mathilda open, I'm picking it up. Like, it's instant lock. Like, the speed of light is 3 to the power 10 C. I am faster than that when I see my waifu open. Like, come on, bro. But looks like these guys are into Chads. They're into Fredrin. They're into Phobius. They like Giga Chat dudes. Sorry, I'm not that. But yeah, overall, I feel like they're going for very chunky boys early on. They really want the front line to be settled in and don't want any more risk. I see it from Untitled because the Phobius is a massive issue. But why the Fredrin? Isn't that a little bit too early?
I too feel that it's a bit early, but again, Team Maaf, they can just take it a bit easy. They have the game point in their pockets, and they can just experiment a little bit here and there. But Team Untitled, they have their back against the wall. They should get all the opportunities firsthand. They should not, let these things be juggled around. The picks like the Kalea, like the Matilda are really strong and can be the game changer. Those pick off as well as the, engage as well as the disengage
Yeah,
can
exactly.
give so much worth to the team,
Mm,
right? And I feel the teams like these who likes to play with fast rotation
mm.
Yes, yes. Shinyu, you got cut off a little bit, I think, or is it me?
That's
Debbie, he
right.
got cut off, right? Yeah, it's okay.
Hey,
It's
hey,
all right
hey,
there.
I'm back. I mean, the
He's
electricity
back.
has been really, yeah, the electricity has been really, unfair to me. But again,
What the water?
still not picked here, Ray.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
get it. I feel like at this point they have forgotten these two heroes exist. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
they have forgotten these two heroes have existed. They're like, okay, who's Kalia? Who's Matilda? To be fair,
yeah,
they get banned out so often. I think it just no longer in their heads anymore. They just think, oh
yeah,
yeah, what is Kalia? What is Matilda? Because they're almost permanent ban. Ranked tournament anywhere, they're permanent bans. So maybe they're not thinking of it anymore because I don't see any universe why not a Matilda and a Kalia would not work. And now they ban it out. This doesn't make any sense. Like, did it? Because I
oh,
know Daki can go for Sicilian. I know all are valid options, but you had a Fredrin. A Matilda would basically boost him to max, right? And
mm,
even
Hmm.
Kalia, so much
mm.
heal, so much shield. Like, I am not sure. I feel like they are doing this in a rarely different way than I approach it. But to be fair, it is very possible that Maaf has gotten into the heads of Untitled, and that's why, and that is a bad thing. Because Shinu and Debbie, when your
Mm,
opponent gets into your head, you kind of make the decisions that they want you to make. Because I know they picked up the Sicilian, one of the signature heroes for Ducky, but how good is it gonna be? But overall, one thing is for sure though, they have really good frontliner. And the only
mm.
way it's gonna get demolished is a true damage, which I don't see coming honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like the goal lane is still open, and carry would be a definite option to go for if
Short
they want
range.
some more true damage. Yes, for sure, short range. But what else would be the other option? The Xbox band, the Alpha can be there, but yeah, finally, you know, guys, why are we stressing so much on these heroes? It's not the fact we like these heroes, but time and
Yeah.
again they
What?
have been proving like what
Raiders,
they can
Raiders.
provide to the teams, right? I mean, we might be biased, but we are not, yeah, right? I'm just
We're
kidding,
not.
guys. But again,
I'm
I
super
have been
biased,
in
bro.
it's okay. I have been sitting in the dark right now, still casting this game. I cannot see my, anything apart from the screen. But I feel like if they had not picked the Matilda or the Calais at this point, we would have been still in the dark with the draft and thinking, what happened to the flexibility that these two heroes can provide to the team, and also the advantage they give. But again, talking back into the draft, I feel the front line is definitely going for the side of team Untitled, but this is
Eh?
a really underrated pick here, and Debbie is so surprised, and I feel Ray might as well be.
Wait.
Holy
Eh,
fuck!
do you guys saw what I'm seeing? Like, is this a Hanabi? The ninja who doesn't have
Hmm.
any death. Oh, sorry,
Hanabi,
man.
Hanabi,
You
you
guys
know,
forgot.
you know the best thing about Hanabi, she has the
Yeah.
same hair and color palette as Zushin. Best thing about it.
Oh, nah, man. Okay.
Oh
You're
no,
just
we
looking
are
for
going back to the
another.
discussion. We are
Yeah,
going back to the discussion
yeah,
once again.
yeah.
She
Like,
be fine AF, bro. She
also
be fine. She be fine.
AF,
I'm just gonna be
Lisa.
okay. Oh my god, we even got the cat girl. What are they
Oh,
doing?
Hmm.
They got me simping here over here. But jokes aside, though, I feel like Marf and Untitled
mm-hmm.
picking up the Matilda would have been too easy. It would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been too dominant. They're like, we want to put on a show. We want to make this entertaining for you guys. Let's go. Game number 2. Let's see if we can make a non-meta hero with no synergy. They don't have an Angela. They don't have
Yeah.
a Lolita. They don't have anybody to stack the shields on, but they still pick up the Hanabi. They want to put on a show scenario.
Hmm. And I do understand the Hanabi is not really so famous in the higher rank, but again, the Hanabis, with the some of the buffs that she has received in the recent patches has made her really a vital choice. And even with the buff on the rose gold, I think a lot of the marksmen, they do like to go for the first pick Hanabi, right? And I think that's so insane amount of shield to go with, your passive and your ages as well as the rose gold. I think that can work, and there's not too many people who can go for the backline except for the Kalea. But again, going into the second match, I feel, Ray and Debbie would be the best people to cast these games for now. So, Ray, why don't you take it away once again?
Thank you, Shinryu. That draft was definitely an entertaining one. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn. I love that transition. But overall, this is going to be game number 2 between Maaf and Untitled. And onto the casting desk is, of course, myself, Ray. And joining me is a beautiful lady, Debbie. And of course, our host, Shinryu, is going to be watching it from the dark, just like you mentioned. But let's see how the rotations are going to be. We're seeing 2 unnamed marksmen for a long while debuting tonight into the Swiss stages. It's Hana, not B, it's Bay. Hana Bay versus the Cat Girl. 1-1.
I think it's gonna be very interesting what the matchup is gonna be looking like, because when you stand behind the minions, right, the way that Hanabi works is that the passive also hits you when you are under the backside, so the backside is not gonna be the best position to stand. So I think it's gonna be an interesting one. But then again, we have Julie under the Suyo, nothing much different, but the Suyo deals an HP dependent HP based damage, so I think he might be having a great time in the clearance as well in comparison to the Fredrin. Even though he is a tanky hero into the early game, his clearance is not the best if you compare it to the Sasuke here. So I think for the side of Maaf, they can use this early game to their full potential and not get to the mid game where the Fredrin will have all the tankiness in the world and try to have the bongs, which will be dealing the equal amount of damage as well. But now then, we can see the turtle is already up, so they might try to set up for it. And I think Maaf does have a better chance in the set of the turtle here.
Let's see how this turtle fight is gonna go, because mostly the Suyo with the Soul Saver should win it out, but just like you mentioned, the bonk coming in from Kaimiku would be crucial. But look at the taunts coming in as well, the damage being dished out. But Julie secures the turtle for himself. Yo Mom takes a kill, and Kaimiku is the next one to be falling. Maaf somehow does it again right at the beginning, securing 2 kills and a turtle getting 3+ net positive trade for themselves under 3 minutes too.
Yeah, I think this is I really like the Fredrin onto certain players, but when you are on a Fredrin, it kind of give you putting you in a position where you're gonna be needing a mate that can have the mid priority, and Cecilan is not the best known hero that can have the mid priority. So I think that's a little bit of backfoot for them. But then again, the mid game is where we're gonna be watching if the Fredrin can hold long enough. But PD here, I think he's looking for something.
Almost. Joker almost got taken down. And Joker is playing Sakura. That is a nice choice. Sakura is Joker. Wow. Okay, overall.
Oh, wait, what?
Hey, Sakura. Okay. Cross's side for Shane. So he is, I think, a little bit slightly ahead of, Hanabi. Of course, it makes sense, because Hanabi is just... she's slow farmer, slow damage dealer. I mean, I would glaze her because of her beauty, but her place on the meta is really on the bottom tier. The only thing she can provide is the petals in the team fights, maybe a little bit of anti-heal, and that's about it. But okay, bottom lane, Hanabi, better watch out. But yeah, the fact that they have not picked up any shield givers either, no Mathilda, no Lolita, no Angela, so it's gonna be a little bit hard here overall. But look at Kaimiku immediately getting melted down. The Suyo secures a kill, and right now the next one on the list, Joker survives at 1 HP, but no, Julie says no, comes in, swipes, Soul Saver for the triple kill, and right now Deadly coming in, wants to go in for it. Okay, Infernal Pursuit immediately gonna get disabled. Out, the Lord from the Vexana gives a slash and takes him down. Deadly was not even able to take down Senju. 6-0. Maaf is just on a different level.
Oh my goodness, and I think Julie, this guy has been signing in love since the first game and then Hayabusa, and now he's gonna be eating all the buff from Kaimku here, and I don't think he's gonna be having a good time. But look at that, Joker.
Dishing out a lot of damage over there. Could not take the kill. Your Mom on CC. I love that Your Mom is not exactly fitting the stereotype of playing fat heroes, like tanky ones. Yeah. He's actually going for slimmer ones, like the ones who are tiny as well. I was honestly doubting the CC pick for one simple reason, because I thought, is Gatot enough from the front line? If you're dominating so heavily, yes, it is. Okay, Joker over here, I think he's gonna get caught out alone. 4 people immediately decimated, gets cleared up, smothered on the bottom lane. The turret is also lost. Actually, I see the reason for the Hanabi. Like, you don't need Purify. You're basically
Mhm.
immune. Like, Joker
Yeah.
cannot really go in for you, and nor can the Phobius. So, in a way, that is actually a good thing. But, oh, look at the LG
Whoa!
popped in, but the Flicker will get baited out. And right now, they're going so deep in just to take the mid turret as well. 2 turrets secured for themselves.
7-0 onto the scores. This is gonna be the best Maaf game that I've ever seen in a while, and I think Julie has been most of the reason that it is so, because the synergy that they were having is so perfect, and the timings that they had together. I think the rotation wise as well, there's a little bit of a difference in the macro wise into going against Untitled as well, because looking at the structure so far, bot lane taken already, and they are focusing onto the top lane as well, and they have a Suyo. Oh, he might be in trouble though.
Might be in trouble, but he got the dash, and like a dashing man he is, gets out of it. Sasuke is not getting caught out by Sakura today, but overall, he got a leave for the milk.
Yeah.
But he also wanna come for the cat girl, because Daki over here, there comes the CC, Yo Mom, AOG pops in as well, doesn't really land into anyone, but they do take down the cat girl. 1-1 will get shut down. Shane 0-2-0, not having the best of his time over here. And right now, okay, they're also invading the purple buff, wanna go in for a little bit more, want a little bit more resources. Senju dishing out the damage, but I think it's the time to retreat, and I think they will. Overall, looking at the okay. There comes Joker. Wants to go in for a little bit more. Not able to go in for anyone at all. And Kaimiku just getting melted left and right. There is absolutely no chance. But looks like that was a close one for Yo Mom. He gets taken down for himself. But Joker also pulls in the Gatot. Looks like this is a chance for Untitled to finally bounce back, dish out some damage, but there comes Julie with the damage. Deadly will get taken down as he will be responding to the base. Oh, Kaimiku barely surviving, but Joker will get taken down. Julie comes in for the cleanup, and Hanabi secures the double kill. And right now, overall, this is a full-fledged wipeout. Only Shane is left out, pushing out the bottom lane, but at what cost? They don't have any more turrets into the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the greatest scenario for Hanabi to play in, because he already got 2 items and another going for the Trinity build. And when you see how the build, they have a lot of front lines, a lot of damage, a lot of kill pressure as well. So it's going to be free hitting quite a lot of times, and this is going to be a problem for the side of Untitled again. But then one thing's for sure is that Daki, he's got the elegant jammed, and just one that I think is going to be taking quite a lot, but then again, there's not much they can do. They have a lot of a goal lead into the hands of Maaf here, and 1-1 is not the best late game marksman, I would say, because he can be easily countered with the Winter Crown as well as the Wind of Nature too. He's used more as a pressure onto the lane, so I think Untitled, I really don't see a way of them winning. Their win condition is so slim. But yeah, sure, they do have Daki onto the Sicilian. I think C can be the match changer if they play this well. They played this well.
Overall, I feel like Untitled, for them to bounce back, they need a really good crossbow of Tang, but I don't think it's going to be that possible. Yo Mom right now going in for a little bit more. They are hungry for the kills, and they are hungry for the win. Despite the doubts that we saw the Hanabi, it's working out well, because Hanabi is a very defensive marksman, and it works out wonders for how aggressive they're playing. They just needed their marksman to be safe in the goal lane, not lose it, and Hanabi just filled in that slot perfectly, and because of it, they're able to do so. Now, Lord finally walks in.
Yep, the Lord is going to be marching into the mid lane, so it's going to be a little bit easier for them to defend. But then again, there's a thing coming in. Look at that.
The Lord immediately gets spotted out by the passive. This passive is honestly broken, but still, they were able to defend it due to the passive. But oh, look at the petals coming in from the Hanabi. Joker is forced to go back level 9, and Hanabi is level 12. Level 15 for Suyo. The level disparity might be a little bit too much. Pushing down the mid lane. AOG popped in as well. They are forced to retreat, but does Joker commit to it? He will just get immediately annihilated. He disappeared. Duba secures a kill as well. Deadly will be taken down right now, and overall Julie sustaining out because Fredrin is no match to an immortal warrior. But oh, finally Shane secures a kill. Has to go back because he's really low HP. But oh, the kill coming in from Julie. That Dundush, that arrow, the maniac comes in as Julie secures the kill, secures the maniac, and secures the victory, getting it a clean sweep, and Maaf shows who's the boss. And this was an exciting game overall. She knew. I'm gonna immediately head back to you because I think we had our doubts, but Maaf was just able to prove themselves to be that superior team.
Absolutely, man. And we have been talking about that early game prowess the side of team Maaf had, and this game too. They got that lead in the early game, and that's what made all the differences. And I feel once again, team Untitled, they were a bit too greedy with their draft, going for 2 late game heroes with 3 frontliners was a bit of a mistake, I would say. We have been talking about, they need some kind of peel, they need some kind of healing. Yes, they did get that Kalea at the end, but they made one mistake. They did not lock in too many early game heroes, which kind of put them in a bad position. And despite having a Hanabi onto the goal, and nobody could just get up to him, like you mentioned, the inbuilt CC immunity was definitely working for him. And even the Kalea, like you can use your jump how many times you want. You can go for the tsunami slam, but if you cannot catch anyone, if you cannot catch the damage dealer, then what good can you do onto the tanky heroes? Because the Shuyu is so flexible that he can just go in, go out, and it's not really worth it to catch him. And I feel once again the draft superiority was there from the side of Team Maaf, and overall, like, they just proved the fact why they are in the Mythic leaderboard. So yeah, once again, guys, I want to reiterate the point that this is the Mythic Showdown where the top 8 teams will get a direct entry to the Mythic leaderboard. So the top 8 position would definitely be important for a lot of teams. But once again, Ray, did I miss out on anything that you think that was crucial for this game?
You have not missed out. It's just the fact that, like, Hanabi, as absurd as it looks, look at her. You don't underestimate a Hanabi. I am a proud Hanabi main as well. I am a lot of main for a lot of female heroes. But jokes aside, the main thing is that, just like you mentioned, they picked up the Fredrin, they picked up the Kalia, they picked up the Phobius. All of them which are crowd control oriented, not exactly a burst one. And even if you want, Fredrin can dish out damage, but for that you need to take damage. How do you take the damage? You taunt them. How do you taunt them? It's a crowd control. They miss out that simple factor, and the Hanabi was a crucial thing in that. They could not gank the Hanabi. If anything, she's just gonna turret hug, and even if you try to dive, she's gonna use her Higambana to just immobilize you inside the turret, even multiple people. She's a full-on defensive. A tank jungle is basically the worst possible thing you can do against the Hanabi, and it was very cleverly played out from the hands of Maaf. It really shows that they're not exactly